to April's full council meeting. Was it the festival under the fire notice? There's not going to be a planned fire alarm this evening, I don't think. So does anybody need any assistance to leave the building?
I do. I need to be left on the stairs.
And the lift is not to be used. If you could make your way calmly down the stairs and access at the rear door. Thank you very much. Right, press. So I thought this evening we would just say the Lord's Prayer. This was given by Jesus to his disciples as a model for them to pray. So, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be our name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power and glory, forever and ever. Amen. Any apologies for absence?
Yes, we've got Councillor Skinner and Councillor Cooper. I can't remember her name.
Right, so are there any declarations of interest from any members on items on the agenda, Wendy?
244-25. I see any?
245.
No,
Just that one.
Yeah.
So 234 is to receive and agree the minutes of the full council meeting held on Wednesday, the 11th of March. Has everybody read them? Any comments or amendments? I'll sign those off. And now we'll receive reports from North County Council and Blackland County District Council. We've had one from Judy, I think, in France. We've had one from William. Any questions for the councillors from Swaffham? Any questions?
I'll go with one, but to Breckland mainly is the fact that I keep getting asked about the score and we keep getting told it's imminent to start on it. And is there, I looked at Judy, I expect you to say there's nothing ongoing, but have you got any news on that?
I had hoped to report tonight. There have been some other situations. But I'm still waiting for information back from Simon Wood, and I will get that to you as soon as I know. I can't report tonight. Sorry.
Thank you.
And Judy, you were going to give a verbal report about the old Hammond School, I believe.
Yeah, that's what we've just talking about.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the new school.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Tom. This one, Judy. Haven't the school, the old school planning consent expired?
Yes, it has. That's why I'm waiting for some more information. Yes, it did in January.
How will we overcome that, you think?
I can't answer that, John. I am waiting, and hopefully I'll hear back more tomorrow from Simon and the team, because they've had a meeting there today. I can't report on something I don't actually know at the moment, but yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I know something.
Quite concerned.
Yeah, it is.
The other question.
Just add,
Sorry, Jacob.
just had one thing. Breckland have launched a new Armed Forces Community Grant Scheme. So it's funding available as a pot of about £11,000 to for things that support or celebrate the Armed Forces community in Breckland. So there's already been one application in Swaffham, which myself, Judy and David have all been in support of. So hopefully we'll be able to share more of that soon.
Right, so 234, we're going to the public forum. So this is an opportunity for any members of the public to ask questions of our county, district or town councillor. So there's a limit of 15 minutes, and if you could keep your comments to about 3 minutes each. Who wants to speak? Yes. Yeah, no, stand up so we can hear you.
So I'm Dan Hancock. I'm the co-founder of Room to Breathe, a new emotional wellbeing service that we're launching in Swaffham later this month. So I'm joined tonight by several members of the community that share our vision to see former Sue's News premises in the marketplace restored as a valuable space for our town. Like many of you, I see Sue's News as more than just a shop. It's part of the fabric of Swaffham, and seeing it shuttered is a loss that is felt across the community. Room to Breathe, we create calm, welcoming spaces where people can connect and take care of their mental well-being in a way that feels accessible and human. We bridge the gap for those who may not feel unwell enough for clinical services, but are still struggling, particularly in and around Swaffham, where there are limited early support options, meaning people often don't know where to go until things reach a crisis point. We offer that early support along with a proper cuppa, a listening ear and a space to pause. The reality is we all have moments where things feel difficult and we don't always know where to go with that. Sometimes people need isn't a service or referral, it's simply a space where they feel comfortable enough to walk in, sit down and not feel alone. We know there's a real need for this because local residents have been telling us that they want somewhere like this to exist. Not something formal or hard to access, but somewhere simple, visible and welcoming right in the heart of town. Importantly, this would be a space that is open to everyone without barriers, referrals or long waiting lists. Whilst we're community-led, we are not amateur. Room to Breathe is guided by a board of experienced health and social care professionals, including psychiatric nurses, occupational therapists and consultant psychiatrists. This ensures that our support is safe, ethical and grounded in real expertise and gives the council confidence that we're stable, reliable, long-term tenants. Bringing this space back into use will create real benefits for Swaffham, increasing footfall in the marketplace, support neighbouring businesses and turn a closed unit into an open, welcoming presence. An active, well-lit space also helps deter vandalism and antisocial behaviour. And as we're non-profit, we can also unlock external health and wellbeing funding that the council cannot access alone, bringing new investment directly into the town. We see this space as something that can be shaped by the community into what people genuinely need. We're not just looking for a building, we're looking for a partnership that strengthens Swaffham. Space that brings people together, supports wellbeing and adds something genuinely useful to everyday life in the town. We're ready to take the next steps and work collaboratively with the council to make this happen. I hope you support the idea of the wellbeing hub in the marketplace as you consider this item this evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Ask the gentleman a question. What sort of, do you realise how small that area of the shop is within that building?
Yeah, I've actually
Is that going to be enough room for what, you know, obviously for what you're looking to do?
So Room to Breathe, the concept is that we will provide pop-up spaces in local businesses, the community sectors as well. So the idea for Sue's News is that it is just a hub that anybody can just pop into and just get a cuppa. So yeah, the space is no problem for us. How we sell our service to other businesses is if you've got a corner and a kettle, we're set. And Sue's News is ample space for what we need.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from members? So we'll move on, go back into session. So reports from the mayor. So Friday the 13th of March, I attended an in-person councillor training session in the council chamber, which was led by James Corrigan from CHRGS, which was very good. I think Kelly got a bit of an induction there. Friday the 20th of March, Nicola and I met with a lady called Marcia Hughes, who is from she's the Regional Community Engagement Officer for Kingsley Healthcare Trust, who own now Iceni House, I believe, and she was keen to support community initiatives in Swaffham for this next year, so that was quite a positive meeting. On Saturday, the 21st of March, I attended the Downham Market St Winald's Day Parade with my mayor's cadet, Harry Clare. And that featured a procession of heavy horses, miniature donkeys, local school children and dignitaries who we commemorated the town's historic horse fair, which is the old, well, it's over 1,000 years old. And it was once one of the biggest horse fairs in Europe. So, did you go?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Very good. And the weather was good, which helped. So that's the end of my report. Town clerk.
Martin's Law training, Leanne, Ian and Nicola attended training on Martin's Law, which is the proposed legislation aimed at improving public safety by requiring venues and public spaces to better prepare for and respond to terrorist threats. This training was kindly provided by, free of charge by Thetford Town Council. Breach of the Code of Conduct. Breckland District Council has concluded its investigation into the breach of the Code of Conduct by former Councillor Edwards. The report and decision notice are available on both the Breckland website and the Town Council website. This last couple of weeks, we've been busy with year-end processes, and the internal audit was completed yesterday, 6th of April. The AGAR will be presented for approval at next week's full council meeting, full finance meeting. In light of the past 18 months and the ongoing management of finances, I would like to invite new and any other interested councillors to visit the town hall this week or prior to the meeting. This will provide an opportunity for me to go explain the year-end financial management and the reporting process and what we have to do on Monday evening. Town wardens have now been in post for nearly a month, and the feedback from the public has been really positive. They attended today's monthly staff meeting as part of their integration into the town council team. A staff team building day is scheduled for in July, which all staff will attend, including the wardens. They have now completed all the necessary training required for their roles. And at today's staff meeting, it was suggested that a working lunch be organised for councillors and staff to introduce new members of both groups.
Thank you. 2353, the museum, anything?
I haven't got anything specifically because the trustees meeting's not till next week, but just to let you know, I think some of you may know that Sue Gattuso was taken ill last week. She's back home and she's recovering well, so I'm gonna send her our best wishes. Sorry, she didn't hear.
Sorry to hear about that. Thanks, John. 236, to receive and consider any urgent items. Are there any? 237, to discuss and consider correspondence received. So I think that was only the one.
You've had a few, but with this week, the last couple of days, we've had actually, which is it's on the agenda, Sue's news, but we have had a couple of other people contact us about renting the shop. So tonight's agenda item is not to decide on who it goes to, is just decide to rent it out and the rent, etc., and how to go forward with it. But yeah, it's really odd with suddenly a few interested people, but I think it's something to do with the Breckland shop grants as well. So
Okay, that's that. And 238, to receive the commission plans for the toilet block and the retail unit, and to determine whether to proceed with the planning application. I thought we did.
we had agreed that we had to have elevation plans, and I know there's been a little bit of discussion. So Ian, our market superintendent, has also stayed this evening to answer any questions, because obviously it's him who predominantly uses the space as well.
So have we got?
So yeah, we approved the principle. You now need to approve to put the item to Breckland for planning.
So this is a category 2 application, isn't it? And the cost is going to be 290. Right. So I'll open the floor. Any comments?
Can I just ask, you were showing me a plan for the meeting started, but that didn't correspond with the plan that we had.
That's Kelly. Kelly submitted that today, but we
Oh,
haven't
right,
advanced
okay.
it yet.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Obviously not being new to the position and stuff, so I've not been party to anything that's happened previously. With my experience in what I do for my job and stuff, I've had a quick look at it, and I felt that we could use the male WC area as storage area better. With, you know, basically we might have to spend money to accumulate money, but actually have a space that's better, so we don't have to do anything in the long run. And also adding basins to the town warden space and also the community space, which makes both areas more usable and rentable for the community space. So I understand no one's probably seen it because it was actually a rough draft earlier on today. But I mean, I'm happy for, you know, the changes to go ahead as they are. So that's not a problem.
So the item on the agenda today is to actually approve the draft and to actually.
I propose that we go,
Sorry,
is there,
Bob's proposed.
proposed?
propose.
Well, seeing as we got another idea on the table, and none of us are too sure what we're talking about. Yeah, are we jumping in too fast for this? You know, I'm sorry, but a lot of this is we don't know what we've got no idea what it's going to cost, even if we do get planning permission. We've got all these different, and we've had another idea come up on the table today. We've had a request for Helen's told us that we got a possibility of using re-renting the shop. You know, I think there's so much up in the air that I would rather wait and get some proper.
Whatever happens, we still need to split the unit because we need that extra space for the wardens and the glutton.
Caroline. When I heard the gentleman talking about his proposal for the shop, is it possible that they could use rooms in the town hall which are for the public to be using, I believe, and have this as his hub, and then we can go ahead with our plans with the news, Sue's news shop.
I think what we need to decide tonight is whether to go ahead with the planning commission. So
Yeah, but I was just thinking
That won't stop that area being
Yeah.
used. That's different.
I was just saying, you know, that there is a different choice for them if they want to.
Yes, a positive point.
Asking for is the will to proceed with the things as we plan them.
What we planned for the last year.
John,
Right. I don't think this slight change makes any difference to the planning application because it's internal. The planning application won't be bothered by that. That'd be something for building regs, which is a later thing. It's the external view of that building that will be the main concern about planning application. And I think we ought to go ahead with the planning application because we're just kicking the can down the road and putting this thing with
Let it go, you know.
Caroline, I agree, because at the moment there is nowhere apart from Conservative Club for disability people to go to a toilet.
so Bob's proposed, I will second. Votes in favour. You got them.
I'm abstaining, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's right, yeah.
Okay. 239, to receive quote for the replacement of the carpet tiles on the ground floor of the town hall. This is Swaffham Carpet Limited.
It is there are the people who did the carpet in here.
So the cost is 3,700 and the comments. Right.
Well, we spend, every year I've been here, we've been spending money in here, one place or another. Can we just sort out Swaffham for a change with the monies and then come back to what we've got left, not the other way around?
If we may say that the plans for the town in general are not affected by what we spend.
But there'd be more money spent, because every Christmas we haven't got the money every year. Is that not true? So this time I would like to see if we can turn it around, that when we've got everything in play for the people of Swaffham, then we spend on the town hall.
So this would be capital funding. So this would be capital where your Christmas event wouldn't be capital. And also the 3790 does include 27% VAT, which we would get back.
But have we ever hired these halls, rooms out?
Every day.
I mean, every day. Also, we should have money accumulating from that then, so that we can spend it at Christmas. But we've not heard about it.
Wendy.
That flooring has been down there many years, and we do need it. It creates a bad impression.
It's where the public
Yeah, Shanty.
takes it into
I still think it's a lot of.
Been there a long time.
I mean, we've
It's
got.
been there since it was built, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, any other comments? No? John, David?
Is it just the one quote we've had?
Yeah, we don't need to have three at that price because we've got them to do our work here before. We're happy with them. We know the quality.
The financial rates.
I suppose that we get more quotes and there's someone locally who might be able to do it cheaper.
Yeah, Swaffham
This is Swaffham carpet.
Oh, no.
This isn't a drill.
That's quite high. On the floor.
Remember this. We use some in the office. Yes. Really?
Back into session. Sorry about that. So if I remind everybody, we're on item 239, which was the carpet tiles on the ground floor of the town hall.
Who've been left out there. I was talking to a lady who's a parish council, and we can get a lower quote than what was stated. The lady's over there.
Did you want to make a proposal?
Do you want to make a proposal? Your details later.
Caroline, do you want to make a proposal?
Yes, that we go for lower quotes than that.
Have we got a seconder to that proposal? Oh, right, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
So all in favour?
Why not?
Thank you.
What's the second?
Yeah.
Second quote for that.
Go for a second quote for the
Yeah.
carpets.
Well,
How many have you got? How many have you got?
Oh, I've got to do it.
Three.
Yes, but you put your hand up.
Penny? No, no.
I've got three.
So
I've got
I've
to
got
put hands
three.
up again.
No,
David.
no, so I've got three, yeah, so three for against, so what do you want to do next?
Right, so can I propose that we go for the quote that Hannah's got of £3,790 from Swaffham carpet tiles? And propose that we go for that?
Yeah.
Any second is cool. All in favour?
I do anyway.
And you've already quoted, you can. Okay.
So 240. Consider quotes received for an update of the town hall alarm system.
So this is different, this is the intruder alarm. The reason is we're struggling with the museum at the moment because
It's
We-
complicated.
it's very complicated. We want to split the system. So it would be better for us to split the system so they can have theirs and we can have ours, because at the moment they're shutting us off and vice versa. So the one we have at the moment is Alarming UK, is what we use for our fire alarm and intruder alarm, and they have actually come out the cheapest.
Very much.
Yeah.
That's well.
Yeah. And they can split the system for us, and it also upgrades it to new digital.
So for this, we did ask for 3 quotes.
did.
One firm did not quote. The other one was High Parion, and they quoted 3,823. And it was much cheaper from Alarming UK, I think, and we're quite happy and satisfied with that companion.
Yeah, yeah.
So any comment?
Just going to say the obvious, really, that one is quoting to replace the whole system and the other one is quoting for a new.
Upgrade it, yeah.
So they're not like the light, are they?
Not really. But the one we've got in at the moment is Alarming UK, so.
Another question, the changing the phone line over to digital, which has got to happen anyway, is that part of this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that will
We are all
achieve it.
digital now in the town hall
Right.
anyway, yeah.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what would be the difference between High Parion? Is that a different system or?
That would be a whole new system where, you know, all the sensors we've got, Alarming UK own them, and it would just be upgrading them and they would use certain ones, yeah.
So that's the difference.
Providing the old system's not going to wear out or fail in the next, we don't want to spend that amount of money and then find that if they go and give some sort of guarantee that the system carry on, it's not past itself by date
It's
and
it's
what, in
more
other
about
words.
splitting the system in half,
Yeah.
so the museum have got their bit and we've got our bit. We are all working well. It's just that at the moment, the museum can turn us off on a Saturday, so we're not alarmed.
We're not likely to
It's
sort of
intruder.
have it, part of it fail or anything.
No, it's all upgrade and we have it all serviced every year.
Yeah.
So it's obviously all compliant, isn't it? It also gives us access to the police line. as
Yeah.
well.
Go with the cheaper option then, I say. Move
If
that,
anybody wants to make a proposal?
yeah, move it, go with the cheaper option.
Second.
What do you What would you advise, Helen?
I think I would go for Alarming UK because we have a really good relationship with them. Although we do with Hyperion as well, but he just confident, didn't he? When he came out, he understood it's a bit more, and he knows how the museum work with all their artifacts as well. So I think I would go for Alarming UK.
Right.
We have a proposer and a seconder, all in favour? Okay. 241, to consider a request for a memorial bench to be installed in the cemeteries. I don't know much about this.
No, Leanne has dealt with this. Lady would like to just put a memorial bench in the cemetery. It should have gone for assets, but it was a bit late for assets, so it was just to discuss whether it's always the same bench. They know what we have to have. It's just, are we happy for it to be installed?
Are we happy that it goes with our policy of
Yeah,
the deposit and
Yeah.
that sort of thing,
Well,
for maintenance and
Yeah.
that sort of thing?
Yeah.
So long as I agree that, I'm quite happy.
Happy to propose?
Can I,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, did you
Yeah.
propose it? I'll second it for you.
Yeah, all in favour. So 242, to discuss and consider the under-8s play area in the reception ground. So do you want to just update people on what?
Spoke to Charlotte Brennan, who's the section 106 officer at Brackland. We cannot use that money until it's signed and sealed, which is not at the moment. There's still problems going through with the legal teams just because there's lots of things happening. So if you use the money, you just have to use your capital fund, and you wouldn't be able to use that 106 money back to put back in the pot for your capital.
And Leanne was she sent out a questionnaire, didn't she, some months ago to find out what people wanted?
We haven't, yeah, we're going to have to redo that, I think, because what we got wasn't, I mean, yes, everyone wants an under-8 group, but I think what you need to do is, if you decided to do it and not use your 106 and use your capital, we'd then go out to tender. The companies would come in, it's a big process. They design it and then it goes to the public, and you put in your quotes of what you want. But I think it was just to say that you cannot spend your 106 until you've been signed and sealed, which it isn't yet.
Does that mean I've got to put forward again for that play thing for all ages again?
That would go to assets. That's
Oh,
different.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comment?
Just to be clear, you're saying if we spend basically our own money, we lose the 106 money, we don't get it back.
Is there an ETA on the 106 being signed, sealed and delivered?
Not at the moment. I mean, it should be soon. We've asked for updates. It's gone back to the solicitors. We're nearly there.
Yeah.
But really with 106, you should have 25% built before you get your 106. But Breckland could release it if we ask them to release it, or we can earmark it if we've got it signed, but we're not there yet.
Right, okay.
Helen, I don't know if you know the ins and outs of the planning consent, so on for that site, the Crocus site. But is it the case that we're dedicating some land to them so that they can provide a footway link across our land?
No, I think that they're looking at there's an abutment that they just want access to come through. So then, because basically, do you remember we had the police out this, and they said you need that open surveillance would be opened up. So that's what council agreed. Instead of them putting in another play area, we were going to have a bit more open surveillance, and they were going to have the permission to come through the abutment to use that space we've already done, because Orford Road was only done in 2002. That was 2003 it was opened. So instead of putting money there, we've asked if we could put the money into the rec ground, which they're happy to do, but it was just the permission to come through. So there's a link through, because technically they have to put a play area in, but it seems a waste for them to put a play area when we've got one there, literally next door.
So we've been very generous with them.
Yeah.
In other words.
I think it's literally just a walkthrough. I don't think it's any land as such. Yeah.
Actually, we control.
But I don't think it's their problem or our problem. I think it's all of everyone tying together with the solicitors to get that approved, because there's no registration on that land, because we don't actually own Orford Road. It's a charity who owns it. Breckland owns it, and we have the charity.
Right.
That's the problem.
I
It's
just-
found with the orchard
Yeah,
project.
the orchard is, that land is owned by Breckland.
What, the walkway up to
No, the whole of Orford Road,
the road,
and it's in charity status to the town council.
right?
So that's where it's all getting it all the tick box.
Can you just make it clear that if we used the capital money to do this project, we couldn't get that back and it'd be completely lost?
Yeah.
And the 106, you can't renegotiate that because it's gone too far.
Yeah.
So that 106 would be lost as well. So it'd be costing you double to do this area if you was to try and go ahead with it in advance.
I can try and negotiate it, but at the minute, I don't think
I
we're too
don't
far
think,
down the line. Yeah.
because it got too far down in the planning field.
We just have to be a bit more patient, don't we?
Yeah, I think that's all you can be.
And I think the public have to understand that there's a process that has to
Yeah.
come through. It's a legal process that we've got.
You talked about losing a heck of a lot of money
Yeah, I agree.
if we didn't.
Right, any other comments? So could I propose then that we continue with pursuing the 106 money? Because I don't think we should even consider losing it, so.
Keep tracing it.
Any seconder?
I'll say that.
All in favour?
Looking in it, so, but
But it is something that the public must understand that we're not even bothered. So,
Actually, for the public, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
things do take a while. Right, 243, to consider rent of the shop unit, formerly Sue's News. So we've had WH Brown out, and they have suggested that we reduce the amount of.
So this was Brown and Co who came out and had a look at it for us. She said that what we had was very expensive for what we have. We obviously showed her the whole of the shop, which
Yes,
we're now
yes.
taking away a third of that.
It's going to be lower than.
So I spoke to her before, she said you're looking at 500 per month for that unit, but now we're taking away a third of it. And then did we want to have a retail, and then do you want a community rent as well? And then we put that out and we ask people to apply, and then we consider who you would want to go for. So you could have a charity rate like we do for renting out here, you know, or a public rate.
Yeah.
That's the best way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have got a
Any
little bit.
idea what that would be? I know it's difficult.
Well,
to
we-
get that
we-
round.
Well, we thought 300 for commercial,
Right,
just having a look around, and then your charity, that's up to you. I don't know whether you know, when we do market, we have charity rates for the markets and that, don't we? What are they? Free, yeah. If you're a registered charity. So you can have registered charity, you can have a community rate and your commercial rate.
And I just asked that, what effect does it have on the business rates? Is it?
Well, whoever takes it would do their own business rates, because Sue's News did their own business rates, so that doesn't affect us. So if it's charity, I think that would be free.
Yeah.
And then obviously commercial, they would do their own, they'd have their own liability business rates.
And
And we would charge the electricity.
the rest of it, because the toilets still attract a business rate, don't they?
No.
No, that's changed.
Yeah, that's
hasn't it?
changed, yeah.
Yeah. And does the storage area,
No, because that's all part of
Yeah.
the toilet. Yeah,
so,
they should
yeah,
be okay, yeah.
any other comment?
So
John?
in essence, this is to keep the shop area. Then how does this affect the plan for it?
We would have to wait until we've got planning permission to put the partition wall in,
Yeah,
but everyone I've spoke to is happy to wait. I think the Breckland grant doesn't need, is up until the 31st of July, so everyone who has to apply for this startup grant, I think they've got till about 31st of July anyway. So everyone I've spoke to, I've told them our plans, that there's planning going in, and we want the partition wall in because we have to have somewhere to put the glutton.
so the rest of it, this is what the 500 suggested.
No, it's 500 for all of it when,
All right,
so I'm saying, because you're taking a third away,
For the plans, yeah.
that's what you need to
would it
decide.
be a third off or probably 50% off, wouldn't it,
Mm.
to the tiny area there?
Yeah, can you just explain how this will work? You've got a commercial rate and a charity rate. And are you, if you're looking for something like a business or a business rate firm to go in there, they're probably going to want it on a fairly long-term basis. They're not going to want it. So I can't see how the two can fit together unless you're going to just do it on a sort of
No, you would, so you'd get people to, then you decide who you want to rent it out to. You could say, oh, you know,
so
Then you would have a normal
you'd
lease.
either go with a charity thing or you'd go
Yeah.
with a business
yeah, yeah.
thing.
yeah.
You wouldn't try and mix the
No, no,
two. That's
no,
why I
no,
couldn't
sorry,
get in
no,
my
no,
head.
No, no.
That's why I
no.
couldn't get in my head.
No, I think what you need to do is decide tonight on the rent and then we say to people, you've got 30 days to apply and then you can consider the applications.
So it'd be one or the other. It wouldn't be a mix. So that's what I couldn't get in my head.
No,
So we've got have we got firm figures for that now? So that
no, that's up to you. I mean, I was told about 500 for the whole unit. So that's what councillors need to decide
right, and over.
on what you think.
The problem as I see it is that you can't really offer it to anyone until we know what we're doing about the actual planning and how long that's going to take. You might have somebody who's desperate to get in, but we could be 3 months down the line before we.
Well, everyone who's
Yeah.
applied, I've explained
You
to
have
them,
explained
and they're
it,
all
yeah,
happy
yeah.
with that. They're all happy
Oh,
with
that's
the way,
fine, that's
yeah.
fine.
Can't rush that process either.
No.
Can we? The planning process, that's what it is, Kelly.
I think I have a little bit of a concern about how this is sort of going forward. I think as a space, it would be a really positive thing to be held back rather than looking for rental for an area that we can become something. You know, we don't have anything in Swaffham throughout the year that we are known for. You know, so, you know, a lot of the towns now are driving certain things like, you know, Sunday brunches or, you know, those kind of things. And I think this space would be a real big asset to the town council and the town to maybe have it as a artist in residence type thing or a studio or, you know, something like the community project that the guys here have said, but something that's an asset to the town. And that is sort of my concern. You know, we're not really known for anything. We have a lot of through traffic. How do we stop those people going through and start bringing money into the economy? You know, that's really important now. We have a lot of duplication of shops, a lot of estate agents, a lot of charity shops with, you know, and there's no disrespect to any of that, but we do have a lot of duplication and that doesn't bring a lot of money into the town and make people want to come in and stop.
So how do we move forward on this one?
It's up to you to decide what you want to do, whether you want to take applications, consider the rent, and, you know.
Yeah, well, we're already taking applications, aren't we? We've already
No.
had some applications come to.
No, we've had people that have interest, but I can't tell them. I
No,
can't,
it's-
you need to decide how much rent, etc. And
But while that area is unused, is it is it liable for business?
it will be, I've had,
So we'll be paying business rates.
not yet, I've managed to hold them off, but we will have to start paying probably next month.
Right, for that small area that we're not going to use.
Yeah.
As part of it. Right, any idea?
No, I don't know, because they'd have to come out and assess it
Yeah.
and look at the new size.
Is the,
Yeah, it was about 191 a month when it was the full size.
Shop can be totally unusable during the time between now and whenever the building works.
Yes,
Come in.
we've got the glutton in there, so that's
Well, so
got to be secured.
Pop up or nothing like that.
So this will be after the building work's actually completed, but we're able to use it, so. I was agreed to go to the planning. So any suggestions? I mean, Helen is suggesting that we actually go ahead with 2 different rental
Options,
yeah, rental
because everyone I've spoken to is happy to wait. but
which
then
is
to start
which is a
planning.
flexible way to go forward, isn't it? As long as we're clear that we've got the 2 separate rental values.
I mean, you could have charity,
Yeah,
community,
Yeah.
and commercial.
so I think we should actually go out and invite people to express interest in using it so that we know what we've got. And then perhaps further on down the line, we can discuss what everyone's interested in doing.
Just make sure that they understand it's only that little area
Oh, everyone's been interested, seen that area.
Because obviously.
Oh, right.
Oh,
It does
okay.
less than what suits you was.
So there has been quite a lot of interest already, isn't there? So I think the next thing is actually get firmed up expressions of interest, and then we'll
Okay.
have to decide
Yep.
on. Well, I think we need to vote on that, don't we? That's what I'm going to propose. So if I've got a second for that,
Yeah, I'll set you on that one.
yeah, all in favour. Because we just need to move it forward quite quickly now, don't we?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Oh, no.
244, to consider a proposal from the IC&E partnership to site a non-permanent structure on the.
Something went wrong.
Oh.
Please try again.
Definitely something went wrong.
I've got the papers. So this is going to be to the front of the community centre to enable the community fridge to offer an expanded and improved service. And papers were sent out to councillors yesterday regarding this proposal. Has everybody had a chance to look at it? I think so. Have we got that up on, can we put that up on screen? Sorry. I'll go out of session because I know that Catherine White, the IC partnership manager, is here. So if you'd like to say a few words and just explain what the proposal is while Helen's trying to get the principle.
Yes, so for those of you who don't know, but I think everybody probably does, the community fridge has existed as part of the IC&E partnership for about 10 years. It's changed a lot during that time, but now it offers a really vital asset, or it is a vital asset, I think, for the local town. It does two things mainly. It saves food waste. So we have a team of volunteers who collect food from Waitrose, Tesco's and the new Express Tesco's. And we have volunteers who help to man the fridge on the morning. So we save a significant amount of food waste, but also, and possibly more importantly, it's a really important social hub. So we have people, families and individuals, on average about 30 a day, who queue up on the morning in order to get access to the food. And then we remain open for the rest, it's open to everyone for the rest of the day as they wander in for other activities. It does many things. It's important in terms of social interaction. So it's not just about the food, it's about social interaction. It allows people to get help if need be for other things, or get signposted to other offerings that we have within the community centre. Obviously, we've got organisations like the CAB who operate from the community centre. We've got organisations like Family Action, etc. And actually, to the earlier point, if people just want to come in and have a cup of tea, then they've also come in and a chat. So the challenge that we've got at the moment is that the community fridge is in the entrance hall into the community centre, for those of you who've been there. So what we do in the morning is we have to close the main entrance into the community centre in order to ensure that we've got a sort of safe environment for the volunteers and for the people coming to the fridge. So that's one aspect. It limits other people's access into the community centre on a morning. It's also, frankly, quite limited in size. For those of you who've been there, we've only got space for a relatively small number of racks and a freezer. And we could have an awful lot more food in there. The board, some of the directors on the IC&E board and I spent time at the end of last year going and looking at the other offerings in the area. And the reality is there is nowhere in the immediate vicinity other than the community fridge that offers what we offer. And even when we've been and visited some of the other spaces, there were lots of ideas, there are lots of different ways in terms of how this might be run. And the board is entirely committed to really growing this and enhancing this for the benefit of the local community. They are fully behind the idea that we provide a vital support for the people of Swaffham. So current location not fit for purpose. We considered other spaces within the community centre, but really none of those really fitted the purpose or the need. So what we would like to do is to get a cabin of some description and locate it in one of the two things that are shown on here in red. For this, obviously, we'd need to go and get planning permission, etc. But really, at this point, it's we're coming here to get the council support for the idea that we should build or locate a purpose-built community fridge, an enlarged, enhanced community fridge at the community centre. Funding for this, we would be looking for grants. We've already been in conversation with Breckland, and we're looking at all options from that perspective for the capital outlay involved in this. So we're not coming and asking for money at this point, but really it's just looking for the support of the council for an enhanced community fridge.
Can I just ask Karen, how big is it going to be? I know you did say that.
So the maximum in both locations, the maximum size we could fit in is 6 by 3 meters, which would be more than enough. At the moment, it's a much smaller space than we've got. So yes, 6 by 3 maximum.
Can I ask, which are you looking at just having the one, or are you looking at, and if you are just looking at one, which is your preference?
So we are just looking to have one. The preference, I think it's fair to say, is this one here.
The one at the entrance?
So the advantage of this one over this one, we used to have a big community, there was a great big bin there.
Yeah, I know.
It's slightly hidden, and I guess you might argue there's some possible security issues with sort of out of sight, out of mind around there. Here, perfect, because the people coming to camping land, the surgery over here, people coming to the school, walking past, people coming, we have huge numbers of people coming into the community centre. So walking past it would make it really visible, really accessible for everyone. And we're really keen to try and get even more people coming here. We could get more food if we had more space.
My question is, there's no trees there, you won't be able to take down any
So there
trees?
is one tree, yes, there's a birch tree, but we would not
take
do it. We would, yes, exactly.
The other one, there's no windows on that part of the
No,
building.
And that's, you can see the windows are here,
Yeah.
that's why the size is limited to the 6 meters.
Yeah.
There were windows here, so it doesn't block any light into the building. It doesn't block any of the existing apertures. It's almost as though it was ideally created for a bit of an extension.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
Slight proposal, we support it.
Just got a question. What sort of materials are you thinking of making this out of?
So we're intending to make it in a sympathetic manner, sympathetic to the existing building. So
Yeah.
you probably know it's a very contemporary
Yeah.
building. So we would work, I guess, in terms of ensuring that it was something that was sympathetic to the
Okay,
building.
so my next thing is a lot of these large organisations like RWE, Siemens and that are building locally have community funds.
Mhm.
And you can tap into those funds, and they have, if you have something that you need, which a small porta cabin would be perfect for this, that you can
Yeah.
dress.
Exactly.
I would be inclined to approach them to get that for free.
Yeah.
The porta cabin.
Absolutely. I mean, if we,
Yeah, yeah.
if we, we don't have we would need to find a means to get
Yeah,
it funded.
something like that they would be interested in doing as part of the community funds that they do, because it's also all to do with the well-being and mental health and things that they do. So yeah, I would be happy to support this. Yeah, and help you, no problem.
Right, Les, did you have?
Yeah, I went and had a look at this on the asset visit, and I'm supportive of it in the left-hand location.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely necessary, vital, that it is needed in the town. And if there isn't something here for it to work in, that I think it's right, that food would gladly be taken by other groups away from Swaffham.
Yeah.
And I think the only caveat is the design of it, but I'm sure there could be a good design for it. Absolutely. Yeah,
Anybody else? And my only concern was the conservation
Yeah.
aspect of
I
it.
was just going to check.
Yeah, do you want to just check? This?
Yeah, but I mean, it won't make any difference anyway, because it needs to be a good design. If you're planning to take a tree down, you need to replace it with another one. And I can't see a problem with it. Probably it's my decision, but. I mean, I'm not concerned. It's either in the conservation area or on the adjacent to it. And the yes, the building's not listed, obviously. You know.
Yeah, so. Anybody else?
Can I move that we accept it?
Yeah.
Go along with it.
Support it, yeah.
All in favour?
These are, you know, when it's just sort of, I can't vote. Yeah.
Right, 245 then, to review and adopt town council policies. The first one is records retention policy and schedule. There are no changes. Is everybody happy to adopt these with no changes? If we vote.
Yes.
Yeah. And then two, the dignity at work policy, also no changes. So everybody happy to accept that?
Yeah.
For six, finance, to receive receipts for March 2026. Everybody happy with those? Yeah, okay, and to approve payments of accounts, April 26th, is everybody happy with that?
Yep.
Looking to join. Happy?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. You're expecting me to.
And to approve bank consideration up to date of agenda. Anybody happy with that? Right, so could we vote to accept those three items, Anthony?
I can't. We'll ask the question. After you.
Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah,
Go-
just
go
just for clarity, it's not in the conservation
Oh,
area.
that's helpful. Yeah,
The
good.
conservation area goes round. It is adjacent. It will, in planning, it would be taken into consideration. So it's proximity.
So the only mild concern that we would have a bigger design of the area, but we also have to. Right, 247 to bring the date of the next annual town council meeting, town meeting, sorry.
Annual town meeting followed by the annual meeting.
Yeah, so that's going to be at 6:30 here, Wednesday the 30th, May.
Annual town.
6
Followed by the annual meeting at 6:30.
As I said,